Safe Food recently carried out a study where they tried to measure, in economic terms, the impact of adverse effects from food safety, and they estimate conservatively that foodborne illness costs the island of Ireland somewhere in the region of 135 million euros per year. Surprisingly, the first thing I would say to the consumer, they must really be aware that food is not a sterile commodity. Therefore, it contains a microbiological flora, which for the most part is completely harmless. There are regulatory measures which are then in place in order to try to control what happens along the food chain and minimize risks associated with the food chain. So under national and European Union regulations, each country must implement food safety controls which are designed to protect the consumer. And the consumer's role here is to make sure that any risks or any residual risks that remain are eliminated at the point of cooking. Do simple things like wash your hands before you start preparing food, have a clean working surface as you go, and try not to contaminate raw material with material that you're going to consume or food that you're going to consume directly. Within the Institute for Food and Health here at UCD, we try to prevent illness in the community. So we try to develop diagnostic protocols that can quickly allow us to detect issues associated with foodborne disease. The second one would be through collaborations and cooperation with industry. We try to come up with effective measures at the industry level to try to manage their environment such that we reduce the risk of an adverse food safety event emerging. And the third one is that we contribute to a broadened public health debate so that we include all stakeholders, veterinarians, household consumers, doctors, scientists, regulators and others to try to bring them along that pathway and to try to provide them with the optimal tools to control food safety measures right across the food chain. In the Institute of Food and Health, what we're attempting to do is to take this surveillance down to a very, very deep level. And to do this, what we've been conducting is research which is characterizing bacteria down to a very fine level of detail. And this means that we can track an infectious agent which might emerge in a human case of infection right back through the food chain and right into its point source origin, whether it be in the animal or in the environment. As technology does, it has tended to move forward very quickly, and a new development in this sphere has been the advent of whole genome sequencing. So instead of generating a DNA fingerprint, which is the way we used to do this, we now generate the entire genetic blueprint of an infectious agent. So in other words, we sequence all of the DNA present in an infectious agent and use that as the element then to track the organism back to its point source origin. Now this is very exciting technology because it allows us to get a very, very fine look at an organism, at what it can do, at how it behaves, and it will allow us, when we get it fully up and running, to almost look and spot an outbreak even before it hits the public airways. So in my opinion, what we will need to do is integrate this new technology into public health surveillance systems. So I think that will be our key challenge going forward into the future in terms of trying to develop the computer programs that will allow us to quickly assess the genetic blueprint, find out the details that are relevant to food safety, and then translate those quickly into control measures to protect the public, help our regulators, but also help our food industry. More importantly, I think what we need to start focusing on now here at UCD is training the next generation of young scientists who will be exposed and using this technology into the future.